Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel and thanks for logging on. If you enjoy these videos, do me a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel right here at Watchbox Reviews. I would really appreciate it and I promise to update daily. If you love this watch, you could see it and you can purchase it on our website, thewatchbox.com. And today we are discussing a lovely first generation Omega Seamaster Aqua Terra. The Aqua Terra collection debuted back in 2003 and it was the immediate successor to the long-running Seamaster 120 collection. Not a pure diving watch, it was more of a direct descendant of the very first 1948 Seamaster, which was essentially a highly water-resistant all-around watch, even a little bit dressy. And that's what the Aqua Terra is, still 150 meters water-resistant. It holds up its Seamaster bona fides. All the same, this lovely first-generation example is a wonderfully versatile 39.2 millimeters in diameter and proof that the coaxials were once slim, only 11.2 millimeters in thickness. Now, lug-to-lug it wears quite compact, a delightful 46.9 millimeters. If you include the solid end links to the bracelet, its spans a still reasonable 51.2 millimeters across the wrist with a 20 millimeter spacing between the lugs. The bracelet's a little bit of a throwback in terms of its construction. We'll jump right in. You'll recognize the form. It's a familiar Omega design. Staggered link alignment, satin finish, oval cross section for the individual links. You can see back in the early 2000s, Omega was using pin sleeves rather than screws in the links. They're very robust. You just need a punch and a block to size them. And there is a unique and old school Omega sliding extensible system inboard of the clasp. So it allows the clasp to expand to fit over or around your wrist. There's also a single side mount release trigger on the clasp. It has a little bit of a vintage feel to it, which is to say the links are a bit lighter, the construction is a little bit more gentle. I'd say it's almost a little bit like a Rolex President bracelet on the wrist. It's not quite as heavy as an Oyster 3-link. Now you can see that the case band is familiar and the case design has been with us since the mid-60s. The lyre style lug tapered inward on its inner face and, as you can see, flared and beveled on its outer face. A bevel that thins out at the mid-case and expands in high polish at the end of the lug. Satin longitudinal finish to the mid-case and a flat conical bezel. The dial is old school. You can see this was Aqua Terra Generation 1. There is no teak deck concept here. The dial is a lush and glossy black lacquer, essentially seamless with the exception of the lovely applique indices, which are polished and faceted. You can see the hands at center are Dauphine and Broad Arrow, respectively, for hours and minutes, and then you have a loomed seconds hand, applique, Omega logo. It's a high-grade dial and handsome with a monotone black date disc that doesn't pop, but is visible when you want it, rather than obtrusive as a silver or white date disc would be. You have a quick set system for the date, so you can rapidly cycle the date should the watch run down or encounter an irregular length month. You pull the crown out and you activate the stop seconds or hacking function. You can see that this is not the Aqua Terra case that bowed in the late 2000s. This is Aqua Terra Gen 1, so there's no shouldering to the crown or crown guard structure, and the crown is a cylindrical rather than the current conical profile. Turn it all over. Let me open up the bracelet and you can see the Omega Caliber 2500. It's a converted ETA 2892. Now this is the Charlie evolution. The big change for the 2500C was the alteration of the beat rate, which went from an inappropriate 28,800 vibrations per hour to the coaxial specific 25,200 vibration per hour beat rate. Now it's heavily upgraded over the former 2892A2 on which it's based. It has 27 joules instead of 21. It has a free sprung balance instead of a mobile stud index. It's a coaxial rather than a Swiss lever, and it has a 48-hour power reserve rather than the 2892's 42-hour power reserve. Adjusted in 5 positions, it is a COSC chronometer and it is water resistant down to 150 meters inside of this case. It's a handsome movement and it's a slim caliber. As you can see, a combination of Cote de Genève mechanically applied, polished screws, and an engine-turned perlage externally. This was custom finished by ETA for these Omega movements. A handsome and versatile watch. It has a little bit of a feel of a vintage Omega these days, and yet still a useful Luminova dial without the tritium fade of much older examples. Still water-resistant, still tough, still precise, but wonderfully versatile, and a throwback to a kinder, gentler era of the Aqua Terra. You can see this one and make it yours on the Watchbox. Omega Seamaster Aqua Terra Generation 1. You can see a double index at 12 and all 3 hands, hours, minutes, and seconds fully loomed.